bound only by frozen memories. It's hard racing on these broken
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another round of TikTalk, where today we'll share with you a wonderful and very interesting topic. And we have three guest speakers with us who will share their thoughts, their opinions, and their experiences. My name is Tara, and I am from University Tun Abdul Razak, and I will be your moderator for today. So I would like to welcome all of our viewers here, wherever you are from, whatever platform, whether you are on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook. Thank you for spending your 60 minutes with us. Please grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, sit tight, and I really would appreciate your comments, your suggestions, and please comment down below whether you just want to say hi to your friends or, just even say hi to me. So really welcome. Um, Before we start, before we get on to our speakers, let me share with you what we're going to be looking at today. Being a student is definitely an adventure. Especially at times where we are not sure. What's the job market like? What are the possibilities? What are the opportunities for our career? But as an accounting graduate, in specific, looking specifically as an accounting graduate, what are the options available for them today? For you, if you are an accounting graduate yourself, what are the professional papers that you should look for? Where are the places that you would definitely want to try for an internship or go for apply for a job interview? So these are the type of questions that, as an accounting student or accounting graduate, you'll definitely want to know. So therefore, you should stay tuned with our session today. And our speakers today will share with us a topic that is what's next for our accounting graduates. So before we get on and before we move on and I'll introduce you to them, let's watch a quick corporate video by Amira. Welcome back again. And as you can see, we have our speakers here all lined up and ready to share their thoughts with us today. We have some interesting questions that we have to address, but in the meantime, I would like to say, well, viewers out there, whatever platform you're at, please like and subscribe our platform. Also, please feel free to ask questions, to post your comments. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Let me now get straight to introducing our speakers here today. Our first speaker, let me share with you. His name is Mr. Muhammad Safwan. Hi, Safwan. How are you today?
Hello, hi. I'm doing good. How
Hi.
are you?
I'm great, thank you. All right, so Mr. Safwan, he is a lecturer at our School of Accounting and Taxation, a former audit and finance executive. He chose this path of teaching, after that experience working in the industry, and says, you know what, teaching is the way to go for me. He lectures in accounting, finance, audit, marketing, and business management for our foundation and also our degree students here at the university. A very popular and well-liked lecturer, he graduated with first-class honors while being very active in the university life, which is something that we would love our students to have, a good balance with academic and also activities, and having a great social life, because it builds your personality. And one of the things that he actually was very involved in university was he was the president of the poetry club. So we'd love to hear a few of your poems later, if possible. Um, so Mr. Safwan has completed all the CPA Australia papers and was a finalist for the Private Education Excellence Awards in 2018. And also, besides teaching, he works. He has experiences in working as an MC, master of ceremonies for social and professional events. So this is not one dimension type of teacher. He does it all. So thank you, Safwan, for sharing your afternoon here with us today.
Thank you,
Right.
thank you.
Okay. You right. So let's go to our second speaker, and our second speaker today is Miss Nur Khaleeda Yasmin. She is a student of our Bachelor of Accounting and Honors program, which is accredited by CPA Australia. Hi, Khaleeda. Right. Let me introduce you first.
Hi.
She has completed her degree with practical training and is currently completing her CPA professional paper. She is an enthusiastic self-starter with strong leadership and communication skills. Khaleeda also has proven academic and curricular achievements, and she possesses the right technical and soft skills required to assist any organization achieving its goals and objectives. This is the kind of students that Unirada is very proud to produce. How are you, Khaleeda?
I'm fine. How about you?
Fine. Can see your lecturer there clapping for you, being a big clap for you. Okay, let's move on to our third speaker. And our third speaker is Miss Amira Athira. She is an alumni student with a Bachelor of Accounting Honours, accredited by CPA Australia. And she completed her 6 CPA papers last year and has a strong passion for auditing, which leads her to experience in preparing audit papers, while working for clients, and also with experience while doing her previous internship. She is also someone who has great team work, team ethics. She is a fast learner, and also she is someone we are very proud of to be a student in Uniraza. So welcome, Miss Amira. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
All right, great. Okay, so thank you again to our speakers, for spending the afternoon with us, and I'm sure our viewers really appreciate, the topic that we are going to dive in today. And what are we talking about? We're talking about what's next for accounting students. Of course, the topic, can be very general. What's next for any student? Because after you graduate from university, we do not know, what's available in the market. What's the kind of salary range are we looking for? Where can we apply for these jobs? What are companies and employers looking? Is it just a basic degree? Do they want some kind of certification? So these are the kind of questions that we want to answer to help our students, who are thinking of doing a degree in accounting, and maybe build a career in accounting. So let's move on and let's start with the first question. So this first question will start with Safwan, right, Mr. Safwan? Based on your experience in the field and in the industry, right, and also talking about the future, what's next for accounting graduates? Why do you recommend students take up this accounting program?
Right. Thank you, Tara, for the question. Well, honestly, to answer the question, because every businesses, all the industries, they in need of an accountant. Yeah, to be honest, regardless of the size of the business or the industry, big, small, medium, big corporations, whatnot, all the business entities, they require accountants. So that's why accounting is actually a very good career prospect for the graduates, because in the future, definitely the chances for you to be hired and then the chances for you to get employed is higher with a degree in accounting, and definitely with CPA Australia, the one we offer here in Razak, it definitely will increase your chance of getting hired as well. All right, and yeah, that's why accounting is actually a very good career prospect for students. And as we know it, in Malaysia, the number of professional accountants are actually still not enough. So that's why we are in need of more and more professional accountants. So with a degree in accounting and the professional paper, CPA Australia, for instance, definitely you will be having a better future.
Great response to that, Safwan. I just want to ask a very, simple question. What do you say to people who say that doing accountancy is boring, is dry, it's all about theories and calculation?
All right. To be honest, accounting, okay lah. Accounting is not that dry actually. For me, accounting is more on the critical thinking side, and then more on the logic part lah. Because if you understand the story behind it, it is actually fun. And if you want to make it more interesting, definitely as a university student, there are a lot of extra co-curricular activities at the university, and definitely to have the balance between your students' life, study as well as your social life, you can participate those extracurricular activities and make it fun. And yeah, to be honest, accounting is not boring. Yes, it is actually very, very fun lah, seronok. Yeah, it's very, very fun actually. Speaking for experience,
Very good. Of course, experience is speaking of experience is the best way of proving it, right? Right. Let's move on to Miss Amira, right? So Amira, first of all, congratulations on completing your Bachelor of Accounting and completing your CPA Australia professional paper, right? I'm sure it's a great relief for you finishing all those papers.
Yes, I finished my program in May 2020. Alhamdulillah, I passed all the CPA paper. For me, it's quite hard to pass all the CPA paper, especially during the pandemic session. When COVID-19 affected around the world, you need to take the CPA examination in online base. So on that time, I think if I'm not mistaken, we are the first batch taking online exam for CPA of Australia. So it's quite challenging because the internet connection itself and how I manage my time prepare for the exam, and also that space that we need required to meet the CPA Australia standard and requirement. So yeah, I really relieved and so grateful that I passed all the CPA papers.
Wonderful, So, what encouraged you to take up this course actually? Because you could just do a degree in accounting and not a CPA together. So, what actually encouraged you to do these two together?
Okay, I started interested in accounting since I studied accounting in high school. So I motivate myself to go for the studies in accounting course and get deeper accounting knowledge and skills that I can implement for my future career. So after I finished my diploma, I determined to pursue in professional certificate in accounting. So I'm glad that UNAZA has offered this good program, which is Bachelor of Accounting, Accredited with CPA Australia. So we all know CPA Australia is one of the world's largest accounting bodies with global membership. So I think it's my opportunity to achieve my goal in pursuing a professional certificate.
Great, nicely spoken. It sounds like, you enjoyed yourself, even though it was done during the pandemic, but still you braved through. It's not that difficult in the sense that the environment might be a challenge, but if you find a way to work through it, it's not that hard, whether it's internet connection, whether it's environment, whether it's meeting your lecturers online for assistance and tutoring, right? So let's go to Khaleeda. Let's go to, first of all, congratulations. I see that you have finished your practical training, and you are currently starting your CPA professional papers, right? So can you tell us a little bit about your practical training? Where did you do your training?
Thank you so much, Ms. Tara. Hi, everyone. So currently, I'm my very first semester of CPA, which the exam will be on this April. Quite nervous actually because there's only a few days left. So I'm doing my practical training in PwC Malaysia, KL branch. It's quite shocking because I've tried for more than 10 companies. I email, call, or something. And then luckily on June they called me and they asked me whether I'm interested to join the tech team because actually I applied for assurance line. So and then after several thoughts and with my family's advice and more, I just go for it lah. Because I'm an accounting student, so I'm not so confident to go for it actually. So and then the 6th July, it was my first day, and I can say that it's the best decision ever because PwC really taught a lot. It has the best support system. The seniors there are so supportive.
Great. So Khaleeda, I just want to find out when you did your internship in PwC, it was during the lockdown. So were you supposed to enter office physically or you work from home?
At first, we are supposed to go to the office. They set a schedule. 1 week you go to the office and 1 week you work from home. So after the case has become worse, we are fully work from home. And the worst is the fully work from home is when it is near to the tax submission deadline.
So it was very hard to work from home when it's close to submission deadline. Why is that? What
Yeah.
happened?
Because because all the document at the office, right, and then it's harder to communicate with the and as an intern we also need to learn more. I think so. Is this communication like
Yeah.
school.
Right, definitely, right. So it is not just about the theory and the academic that you learned while you were in university, right? It's also about communicating. It's also about team building, how to present yourself, and also how to work under pressure. Because, like you said, you were doing your internship during lockdown. Of course, nobody expected anyone to do anything under lockdown. You have to find different ways to communicate, get documents, ask your colleague to scan, and then, I don't know how it happens, how it works. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that. It's really interesting. To our viewers out there, if you have any question that you'd like to ask our speakers, please feel free. You can ask a general question, anyone can answer, or you can even ask a very specific question. Direct it to our speakers. They would definitely love to hear from you. Let's move on let's go back to Mr. Safwan. As a potential student out there, yeah, definitely for potential students out there, people who are thinking of building a career in accountancy, right? Can you share with us what are the possible pathways in this career? For example, when they have a professional certificate, are they qualified to be a CEO of a company? Or do you think that they need to start from ground zero and work all the way up? So what do you say?
Right. For accounting graduates, definitely it will definitely add value if you have the professional qualifications with CPA Australia, for instance. And to answer your question just now about the career path, definitely they can join any business or even the audit firm as an auditor, and then climb up the management the way to the position, and being the CEO. All right, definitely. As an accounting graduate, you have a better chance at being the CEO, because research shows that in Australia, for instance, 1/3 or more than 30% actually of the CEO they have accounting background. Why? Because when you learn accounting, definitely the financial element as well as the management element, management accounting, for instance, where you learn about the management, planning, organizing, leading controlling, POLC. All those required skills needed in order for you to better understand the business and to better manage the business. So that's why, yeah, you can definitely be the CEO with accounting qualification. All right. And if you don't want to be a CEO, for instance, if you just want to start up your own business, you can also do so. And definitely having knowledge in accounting, you will be better at handling the costing, for instance, how to be more efficient, to minimize the effort, minimize cost, time, work needed, whatnot, in order for you to maximize your profit, to maximize your wealth. All right. So definitely towards the end, you'll be having better profit, all right, better wealth maximization, and thanks to the accounting knowledge, that's how you can do so. And there are a lot of other career paths that you can go for, all right, in taxation, assurance, consultation, all right. There are a lot of career paths definitely just by having accounting degree, and definitely it will add value with professional qualification.
Good news. Good to hear that. So our friends who are thinking about their possible prospects, they say, yeah, you know what, this is something I have a chance of being a CEO of a company, right? Like talking about small businesses, small home businesses that blow up during the pandemic, especially those jual barang-barang online, and then doing their promo on TikTok and things like that, right? Do you recommend that they actually take up maybe a short course or learn something about accountancy? Because a lot of them, for example, are completely a different field. It could be, let's just say, someone who works in a shop. They own a restaurant, not a restaurant. Okay, let's say they're a chef. And then so they say, you know what, I'm going to sell shoes online, and then their business blow up. So what do you recommend them to manage their money better?
Definitely, with having knowledge in accounting, finance, for instance, it will help you better at costing, for instance, because as we know it, when you're having business, definitely we're dealing with suppliers, whatnot, and then all the ingredients, all the supplies, whatnot, you need to better handling them so that you know how to minimize the cost, so that towards the end, when you perform the costing, you're still within budget. You don't want to be over budget, so that at the end you can report better profit, and that with the profit you can better expand your business, for instance. And you can only do so if you have good if you have knowledge in accounting or finance, and you can have such knowledge by having degree in accounting, for instance. You can go for even short course in accounting, even the basic financial accounting course, even foundation, for instance. At foundation level, you will learn how to prepare basic income statement and balance sheet, for instance. Those knowledge are actually enough or sufficient for small business owners, so that they know how to better handle money, because yes, cash is king. So you can better handling them by having the right knowledge and skill.
Yeah, all right. So great. We have a few people who says, Kel, cantiknya, good vibe. Siapa tu? ID Safri, kawan ke? Right. So I hope your friends are watching. Boyfriend ke? Oh, okay. So please, friends who are watching, whether you are Amira's friend, Khaleeda's friend, or Safwan's friend, please share, wave to your friends and say hi to them. All right, let's go to Amira a little bit, right? So it's good to hear that you actually got yourself a job. Okay, you were offered a job during the pandemic, and the bonus is that it's actually a company where you did your practical training, right? So congratulations with that. So maybe what you can do, what my question is for you is, maybe you can tell us what company. If you don't want to share with us the name of the company, it's fine. But maybe what kind of business is that company? And then can you share your experience, how you managed to change from a practical training or for your internship into a permanent job? And has the work environment, is the environment as what you imagine? Are you working from home? Are you working in the office? Is it what you imagine your life would be, right? Amira?
Okay, thank you, Miss Tara. Okay, yes, I feel lucky that I managed to get job during the pandemic. The company that I work for now is the same company that I did my practical training. So I'm so thankful for this opportunity. During my practical training, I have given tasks to assist audit associate. I'm currently working in audit firm. So during my internship, I have given tasks to assist audit associate in conducting reviews of assigned organization and functional activities by evaluating the adequacy and effectiveness of the management control. So I also learned how to communicate with the client and also audit associate. It also taught me an attention to details or every details in the audit process. So by having the good connection with the employer and all the staff, I'm getting familiar with the office operation, gathering analysis data, examining company account, and learning about company procedure and decision. So from that, it will give me and it will lead me to willing to learn more new things and ability to follow instruction, teamwork, and computer competence. So I always want to do the best for my internship so that I can contribute more to the company when I work now. So from that, it will equip me with some knowledge and skills that I can implement for my future goals. Thank you. So
Great.
currently,
Yes.
okay. Currently, I'm working at the office, so more resources that I can use to get my job done and for auditing the company. So we are at the office.
Great. So I mean, we are all so happy that you're happy, with your work experience, with your company, the audit company that you are attached at. And is it exactly how you imagine it to be?
I know it's working auditing is like stressful or just tengok laptop je, but it's quite fun actually because we use our critical thinking skill to solve all the problems. So from that I learn everything. So yeah.
Great. Okay, let's. I think before we move to Khaleeda, we actually have a question from our viewers. Can I see the question, please? Okay, so Shafiq Effendi, this question he did not state is for who, but I think we can open the question to anyone who's comfortable answering. May I ask a question? Any tips for new students who are taking the CPA paper? Would anyone like to try that? Any tips for students who are taking the CPA paper? Anybody would like to try?
Anyone? Okay. Okay lah. Perhaps I can start, and then perhaps the one completed with the CPA papers can further elaborate. To be honest,
Alright.
if the students are asking for tips on how to excel CPA papers, for instance, for me, definitely it requires a lot of practice because the papers, as we know it, they are technical. It requires a lot of knowledge and skills in order for you to better understand the question. And the questions are very, very technical. Yes, it is an open book test where you can bring in your book and then you can refer to the text, whatnot. But please bear in mind that the questions somehow not 100% derived from the book. And what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes the questions also involve critical thinking skills. So you need to understand the content, yes, from the resources, but how to apply it while answering the question is a different story. So that's why my suggestion would be don't study towards the end, meaning to say that you really need to understand the content in order for you to better understand the questions later. And yes, when you answer the questions, from my experience, yeah, sometimes the options are more or less similar. A, B, C, D, for instance, they all look the same. But sometimes the correct answer is determined simply by one term. So when you read the options, please be careful and look for the right term, the keyword, kata dia, in order for you to get the right answer. So that's my take lah, definitely.
That's a very good.
I want to add.
Alright.
I want to add a question. Okay, for the CPA paper, the important thing is you can do index because index is quite important because the exam is even the exam period is 3 hours, but it's too many questions and you can do even if open book, you don't know which one to look at. So the index is very helpful. So from every subject, you need to do the index and try to practice and practice and practice.
So the exam is definitely you cannot say tak boleh lah sebelum 1 minggu sebelum exam baru nak belajar. Tak boleh kan? Definitely not. Right. So Khaleeda, you're getting all those tips, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Yeah, let's move since we are getting talking about tips and CPA and all that. Let's move to Khaleeda and Khaleeda. So your seniors, who did the CPA
Mhm.
exams, like Amira, I think they did the classes and the exams while they were online. I mean, while they were in campus, still in campus, right? Especially the classes were still in campus, right? So you actually get to meet your lecturers face to face. You get study groups with your friends, physical, and you go into the library and things like that, right? So how has your learning experience changed? Or is it different now since when we had this MCO and COVID happened last year? What are the challenges that you face as a student? Whether it is learning alone and things like that. Can you share with us?
Yeah, with the COVID-19 pandemic, it has triggered new ways of learning. So all around the world, educational institutions are looking toward online learning platform to continue the process of educating students, right? So of course there would be difference if you want to compare with seniors of previous years. So the transferring of all online learning has been the biggest challenge for me as a student. I would say I've usually kept up with all my work for all my classes. So the biggest change I've seen is that it makes us becoming less focused because being in physical classroom is tremendously different from learning online. Classroom is a learning environment, so I feel like it's easier to communicate with my classmates, lecturers, if there's anything that needs further clarification. So in the university, in the classroom, most of our focus is there. Unlike virtually, the temptation are so real. The struggle to focus on the screen for a long period of time is so real because there's greater chance for students to be easily distracted by social media or other side. So I think in this case, I would say that self-discipline is so important, and time management also is another thing that we always have to take care of lah. We have to be independent. Mm.
Thank you. Great response to that, Khalida. And also to one of our viewers, Shafika, who says, good tips. Thank you so much. So it's our viewers are really appreciating the tips that you shared. Right? Is that Shafika Najwa? Yes, thank you, Shafika. Virtual hugs to all of you and back to you. Let's go to Mr. Safwan. Um, a few days, no, it's last week. Last week, we actually had a TikTok session with the Dean of Accounting, Mr. Chandran, and also the representative from CPA, Ms. Prishla. And Mr. Chandran actually said something that was very interesting. He said that the the number of accountants, professional accountant that is needed, okay, is actually a very high number because we have a lot of businesses, we have a lot of companies and industry needs accountants, right? So as we know, under our Malaysian economic transformation program, this is Malaysia's ambition, okay, is to produce 60,000 professional accountants by the year 2020. Have we achieved that target? If we have not achieved the target, what's the outcome? What's going to happen to our businesses? Can you share with us?
Okay, thank you for the question. Well, as what being reported by the Star, right, and then MIA highlighted it as October 2019, we only have around 5,000 qualified professional accountants, which is actually around half of the targeted number, which is 60,000. So, way to go to reach the target 60,000. So that's why we have a lot of accounting graduates. Unfortunately, those graduates they didn't graduate with professional qualifications, CPA Australia, for instance. So that's why with Unirazat's accounting degree program, where the students graduate with CPA Australia, definitely we are moving towards it to have more and more professional accountants later in the future. And yes, as what being highlighted by you just now, yes, Malaysia is getting bigger in terms of businesses, those big corporations, whatnot, and definitely we need more and more professional accountants in the future. And we can only achieve it by having more graduates with professional qualifications.
Great. And if we don't achieve this number, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, how bad do you think it would be for our businesses?
Definitely, it won't help the businesses much because professional qualifications really add value into the business. We need to see that when the staff have professional qualification, they will be better at knowing the numbers, dealing with the figures. They have better skills in understanding the figures, solving
Okay.
problems, whatnot. Mhm. So that's why we need more actually. And if we continue not achieving the target of having 60,000 professional accountants, for instance, definitely it will badly affect our economy, and definitely we won't be able to achieve the highest prestige target that we want to go for, which is developed country.
Yes, definitely true. And I also think that, if we do not have enough professional certified accountants, it actually makes rooms and opportunity for a lot of foreigners to actually come and take that job opportunity away from our people, right? And we know from what we've read and stories that we've heard, a lot of the big companies are willing to pay foreigners with professional skills a lot more than what our people are expecting to get, right? So, and it causes a lot of people to be, unhappy with the Malaysian businesses, saying that apalah ni, kita orang Malaysia gaji kurang, tapi kau daripada negara orang putih gaji kau tinggi, I'm speaking English because I don't want orang putih tu dengar lah kan. Okay. So so we definitely need people who need it, and the professional certification is way to go, and CPA is one of the ways to go. We have a question here. Maybe we can, before we go to the next question, let's have a question from our viewers, and this is for Muhammad Rizwan. This is an open question to anyone, I guess. Do you prefer for our candidates to apply for the Big Four for their internship and after their study? Okay, all right. So, can be anyone who can try to answer the question. I think what the question is, would you like our candidates or our students to apply for the Big Four for their internships?
If
Anyone would
you
like
were
to try?
given the okay, perhaps I start one more time, and then perhaps the students can further elaborate. Definitely, if you have the opportunity to do your internship with the Big Four, you should grab one, because knowing that Big Four is actually the name big, so it's very big. The nature of business is very big, and then you'll be exposed to more industries, okay, because of the job rotation. Even as an intern, you'll be going through a lot of different industries, and definitely it will add more value to your CV lah, alright, to your knowledge and skills. And but one thing for sure, place for your internship doesn't define your skills and knowledge, because if you are doing internship, let's say in a medium-sized audit firm, but you learn a lot, definitely it will also add value, alright, because later when you go for interview, for instance, you can answer the questions and then you know how to perform, then it will definitely add value as well.
Maybe Amira, would you like to try, because you graduated and you're working?
Okay. I also recommend for anyone who wants to do internship in Big Four, because I'm never not yet. For my internship, I do simple small audit firm. So I'm not in Big Four, so I don't know how the nature environment is in Big Four. So if anyone wants to try in Big Four, yeah, you can join the Big Four in internship. It's quite exposure, I think.
Yeah, more exposure
But like
because
what-
of the job
Yeah,
rotation.
more exposure. Yes.
But like what Mr. Safwan also
Yes.
said, it does not mean that you are not good at what you do. Because even in a smaller audit firm, you still showcase your skills, because for all you know, at a small audit firm, you actually have to do everything. All right, Khaleeda,
Yes.
would you say something?
And I want to add that I think if you have the opportunity, you should go, because based on my experience, I was placed under tax compliance specialist group, and based on my observation, they are so supportive. I remember the managers itself give me the trust to do tax computation for a shipping company that has 10 subsidiaries. She treat me as a true preparer, and she give full trust on me and other two preparers. She said, just do your best. She will review it and she trusts me too. That's all.
Takut
So
tak?
I think you should go for it. No, I just thought of it as a learning process.
Jadi bila klik enter tangan bergetar tak? Dia klik macam tu.
No.
Tak bergetar lah. Tak takut sangat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orang kat sana baik je.
Alright, great. So let's go to Amira, right? So as a student of Uniraza, how do you think that your university life has prepared you for the current job market? Do you enjoy what you're doing? As a student, do you enjoy yourself, and as a working adult, do you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, as a student, I also enjoy because the experience that I have in Indonesia, when we do the online classes at the end of the semester and we need to taking the exam in online. So it's quite hard, but it's quite challenging to finish my paper. And I see my junior also, we do everything is online. So it's quite difficult for them to focus a long time on online classes. Or for me, for accounting classes, it's quite difficult to understand. Sometimes they do not understand how the lecturer do it, and this one. So they're difficult to express what they can't understand. So doing the accounting graduate is also challenging me to adapt the internal and external scope of study, because I need to adapt my knowledge and skills to implement in my future in my job. So the knowledge and skill itself need to be strong to equip myself for the current market job.
So as a student, as a working adult, right? What do you think is a very important soft skill that is necessary? That's very important to make sure that you are an employee that people are happy to hire. What's a good soft skill to have?
Okay, for my opinion is first communication skills, and also how to develop in critical thinking skills, because everything have problem that need to solve, right? So how we solve the problem actually. So we need to think very carefully, we need to solve very carefully, and we need to see all terms to solve the problem. So I think that too is an important skills.
Communication and critical thinking. Right. So maybe before we go to Khaleeda for the next question, we'll go to Safwan, right? Amira said that critical thinking skill and communication skill, right? As someone who is very active in university, you are president of poetry club and things like that. How do you think that your involvement in activities has really shaped you?
All right, because to be honest, when we go for classes, definitely we'll be learning a lot more on the theory side lah. But when you go for the core curricular activity, the practical elements came into the picture. So you learn how to manage the society, the club, for instance. You learn teamwork. You learn how to handle people, how to work together, and those skills are pretty much needed, very very needed once you work in the future later. Because when you're working, you will not be working alone. You have to report to the superior, and then you have to work with the others as a team, right? And then to meet the same goal or the same objective, for instance. Okay, so that's why by joining all those extra curricular activities, it will definitely shape your social skills, all right, your soft skills, and those skills are pretty much needed later when you're working. And not only pretty much needed when you start working, but as you climb up the management ladder as well. If you want to be the senior exec, the head of department, or even the CEO, definitely you need to be the people, all right, the people person, sorry. You need to be able to communicate with others. You should be able to express your vision so that the others understand what you want, and you can only do so if you have the right soft skills.
Great, so it's not just about having the technical skill, it's also having the people skill, the soft skills, things like that. So we have a question also here, another question by our viewers. Can we have the question posted for our, yeah, thank you. All right, so this question is by Akmal Arif. Okay, so Akmal Arif, I'll read the full question for you, okay? Instead of just the private sector accounting, I'm also interested in public sector accounting, like being an accountant for the government of Malaysia. Would you like to share some advice?
Okay, to be honest, being an accountant later in the future, you will definitely have better probability of being hired as a private sector accountant compared to the government, public accountant or public sector accountant, because if you want to be an accountant for the government, for instance, you have to go through a lot of process, okay? Fill in the form, SPA for instance, and then being called for interview, whatnot, and it takes a lot of time actually. Unless you're very lucky, once you graduate, you'll be called. All right. So that's for me. My advice would be, if let's say you really want to join the government or the public sector, perhaps while waiting for the call, what you can do is actually to work as a private sector accounting, accumulate knowledge, skills, whatnot, so that later when you are being called for interview, for instance, you will be more prepared and you will be better at serving the government or public sector.
And now suddenly we're getting a series of questions. All right, let's go on to the next question by our speakers, our viewers here also. This question is by Ms. Shafika Najwa. All right, so I can read the full question for all of you. Most students, especially SPM students, think that accounting field is very difficult to pursue, right? Can you give some advice that can boost their confidence to pursue in this field? Okay, maybe we get our ex-students and our current students to answer to this question.
Okay,
Either Khaleeda or Amira.
Okay, for my opinion, for experienced students, accounting is not hard as they think, because when you enjoy learning accounting, when you do the debit entry, credit entry, or some that you do the balance sheet or P&L, it's quite fun actually, because you know the business, how they record and everything. So I think it's for me it's not that hard and it's not that difficult to pursue, because if you enjoy, if you love to do the accounting, and if you love to learn, so everything is smooth. You just remember the format and you understand what are you doing. So that is my advice.
Okay, great. So it's also like, practice makes perfect. You have to be confident in yourself, and also if you find that it's difficult, always ask for help. That's what colleagues and friends are for, right? I think we have one more question from our viewer. Let's see who's the question from. This question is from Muhammad Fauzan Matsani. Okay. So, the question, I don't know whether that's the whole question, but why is artificial intelligence the future of accounting? I think that's what the question meant. Is artificial intelligence the future of accounting?
Yes.
Yes. Would you care to elaborate?
Yes, because as we know it, more and more businesses, especially the one transitioning from medium size to the big corporations, we have more and more online-based businesses, whatnot, and that involve artificial intelligence as well. Okay, to better understand the business, the industry, to better understand customers' demand, to better understand how the industry works, whatnot. It involves a lot of artificial intelligence, and that's why accounting also will definitely follow suit. Okay, so that's why artificial intelligence is definitely the future of accounting as well, because in order for you to understand your customer, in order for you to understand the economy, the demand, supply, whatnot, numbers are there, ringgit Malaysia, USD, whatnot, and when the numbers are there, definitely accounting will be there as well. So that's why accounting will also be the future with artificial intelligence.
Technology technology will definitely play a bigger role. I'm sure technology will play a bigger role in all platforms of industry. Whether it's in the education in general, whether it is
Yes.
in accountancy, right? Yeah. So we have okay. So far, I don't think we have any more questions left from our viewers. Let's go to Khaleeda here, right? So we don't want to leave Khaleeda out a little bit because Safwan and Amira have been talking and sharing. Let's go to Khaleeda for a while, right? So can you tell us how many papers left do you have for your CPA, and what's your plan after graduating?
I have three more papers left. Global strategy and leadership, contemporary business issues, and also advanced audit and insurance, which the exam will be on this October or November, if I'm not mistaken. So after that, after all the attempt, I actually have the thought to start my career with Big Four, because the 6 month practical training is not enough for me if I want to become an expert in my specialist area. And plus, for me personally, I think that starting my career at the Big Four will put me on a good start while maintaining my career momentum. Having 2 to 3 years of work experience in the Big Four surely will land you from a junior to senior position, and the more relevant experience and contribution we can bring to the table, the more valuable you are to an employer. And based on my 6 month experience in PwC, I can say that they provide career advancement to high performers. So over the time, you will find yourself leading audit or tax team, and surely it is a valuable experience that you cannot easily find out there. And the opportunity to work with the accounting specialists and practitioners also can serve as an example and mentors for your career. So working with highly motivated and smart individuals also can be challenging, but it's satisfying. You will gain a lot of exposure as a first year associate in the big firm, and the opportunity to manage complex situations and learn how to deal with them with support from seniors will eventually help to grow the understanding of industry. That's what I personally think. That's why I want to start my career in Big Four if I've given the opportunity.
Yeah, sure, for sure. Definitely that it would be a challenge. Working with people with different personalities, a challenge, especially if you work in a big four where they give you big accounts like your experience, right? You said that your superior asked you to do an accounting for a shipping company with 10 subsidiaries, right? I think a lot of people can guess what company is that, right? Because there's one very big shipping company in Malaysia with many subsidiaries, you know that. So we wish you all the best. We wish you all the best with your future and your plans. And knowing you have lecturers like Mr. Safwan here who guides you, and the great faculty members, who will, are always willing. I'm sure that they are always a phone call away, or WhatsApp away, a message away if you need your help. So we have come to almost the end of the session already, and we have one last question. And this question here is soalan wajib that we have to ask so that we can share with all our potentials and our futures and all those people who are interested in becoming members of Uniraza or joining Uniraza family. So Safwan, can you brief us what are the programs and the pathways offered in Uniraza by taking up the accounting course, and how is the CPA Australia conducted? Is it during, while, or after finishing their program? So all that, share with the audience today.
All right. So if you join Uniraza as a foundation student, you will be doing your foundation for 1 year foundation. And then after that, you will straight away continue or pursue your study doing the degree in accounting. And for the degree in accounting offered by Uniraza, it's being offered together with professional qualification, which is CPA Australia. So what you'll be doing is you'll be doing 3 years for the accounting degree, And then after that 3 years of accounting degree, you'll continue with your internship, right? And as for the internship, definitely the students, they will be looking for the companies, but with help from Career Center, Students Enrichment Experience and Services Unit here in Uniraza. So basically, we have people over here to guide you, to help you in order to for you to secure a placement for your internship. And after you complete your internship, let's say for 4 months or 6 months of duration, all right, depending on your program, and you'll come back to complete your CPA papers. So we have 6 CPA papers to be completed, usually in 1 year. So 2 semesters per year. So you'll be taking 3 CPA papers during the first semester, and then the last semester you'll be taking another or the remaining 3 papers. And after it, that's all. Congratulations, you have completed your degree, not only with accounting degree, but with professional qualification, CPA Australia.
Right, thank you. So well put. And so it's very organized, it's very systematic, it's very practical. I'm sure, from our students who are currently doing and our students who have completed it, they can vouch and say that doing their accounting degree and their CPA here in Uniraza is something that is, of course, it's a lot on the individual. You have to try and practice, but with the assistance from the faculty and the university, it is possible. It is definitely possible. Right. So, friends and our viewers out there, we have come to the end of our UR TikTok season 2, where we talk about what's out there, for accounting students. Before we end our session, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Safwan, thank you to Ms. Khaleeda, thank you to Ms. Amira for sharing your wonderful Monday afternoon with us. 60 minutes of your time. I know it's very precious because you've got a lot of things to do. I hope to see you face to face one day in the faculty, in the university, when the cases have died down and we all can resume business, back to business, for business. All right. So let's just share. I want to share with you some quick announcements. For those students who are interested in joining our Uniraza family, please visit our website www.uniraza.edu.my. Our March intake is currently still open. Okay, it is still open. You can visit our website to apply. When you visit the website, there will be a number that you can contact, or you can also contact us at the number that is listed on the banner here. On what you can see, it is 0327891599, or you can also call or message 01433722925. Or if you want, you can also email us at drjo.dr@uniraza.edu.my for more information. All right. So just go to our website, find out not only about the accounting course, but also what other available courses out there. And those of you who are interested and you are looking for financial assistance, don't forget that our MARA, TESP, and the GREP online application is still open now until 19th of March, which is just another 4 more days. This is the financial assistance that is available for students who are interested in joining our program. And all of you who are watching on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to our channel and put a thumbs up for us, especially on Facebook and YouTube. And that's it. We've come to the end. Please stay tuned for more upcoming and interesting topics on here at UR TikTok. And thank you, everybody. Stay safe, keep your distance, and have a nice day, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.